nobody prepares you for. How deep a wound cuts when the hand that made it shares your last name. See, betrayal from strangers is a bruise, but betrayal from parents, that's a blueprint. It shapes the whole house before you ever learn to walk in it. And I don't say that to start a war. I say it because some of us grew up in rooms where love only showed up when you performed, and silence trained us to confuse distance with discipline. People talk about heartbreak like it started with romance. Nah, my first heartbreak, it happened when I reached for comfort in my own house and my hand came back empty. That's when I learned the difference between being alive and being held. And the wild thing is, you don't notice how much you're bleeding until adulthood calls your name and your childhood answers for you. You ever realize your parents didn't leave you? They just clocked out before you even arrived. They were still fighting wars they never healed from. And life hit them with bills, betrayal, racism, survival, exhaustion. So when they collapsed on you. They handed you the rule book. Don't feel, don't speak, don't need. That wasn't parenting. That was passing down armor that was already cracked. And Jesus said in Matthew 10:14, if anyone would not receive you or hear your words, shake the dust off your feet. I never realized that applied to family too. Because honoring them doesn't mean letting their unhealed become your identity. Forgiveness is obedience. Access is wisdom. And sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is step back so the cycle doesn't swallow you whole. The enemy wants you stuck in the ring you were born in. Shadow boxing ghosts you inherit, not create. But the truth, your parents weren't the enemy. The enemy was the silence that convinced everyone to stop looking for the wound. You're the first one who saw it, the first one who felt it, the first one strong enough to say, this ends with me. So hear me clearly, you weren't invisible. You were just standing in front of a broken mirror begging it to reflect. You weren't too emotional. You were trying to plug your heart into a power source that burnt out generations ago. And you weren't weak for wanting love. You were the only one brave enough to still believe in it. So stop living in that ring. Stop training for a fight you were never meant to keep repeating. Walk out that place where wounds were normalized and call it what it really was. Not abandonment, but inheritance. A cycle you survive so you can be the one to finally break it.